What's up, guys? So today we're going to talk about Ultimus. He's a pretty interesting niche character, and every once in a while he sneaks up on you and finds a perfect spot in the war meta. You can never quite count him out, but every once in a while he ends up being just the perfect answer to an otherwise pretty difficult team to deal with. And so Ultimus makes another triumphant return to the Alliance War meta, this time taking on the Sinister Six. So let's check it out. All right, so as you can see here, the team is Ultimus and 4 members of Power Armor. Now you're just dropping Iron Man, whose only real job is to do damage there. And that allows them to basically be a budget Alliance War offense team that can take on one of the most formidable Alliance War teams in the game, the Doctor Octopus Sinister Six. And a lot of it is owed to the interaction between Ultimus's passive and War Machine's passive, as well as how well Ultimus's ult counters Doc Ock. You're going to see 2 matches here. This one that seems queued up, I'm actually going to play second. This was my recording, and then I also want to give a shout out to Dark Jack, who got me another excellent recording of this matchup. But yeah, it is a very, very reliable counter that can pretty reliably do about 50k punch up. A lot of it is owed to Ultimus's ultimate being really effective into Doc Ock with all of his positive effects. So what you're going to see happen is every time someone drops below 50% health, if you have the War Machine passive T-Ford, they're going to get a taunt put on them, which will give 30% speed bar to Ultimus, and if he uses his ultimate on someone with a taunt on them, he gets offense up, which greatly increases the damage that he does. And then because he's hitting for every single buff, it's the perfect counter to Doc Ock, because rather than chipping away at him and giving him chances to heal, you're hitting him for just a huge chunk of damage and just taking him out right away. So let's check it out. We've loaded in, and he was kind enough to record this at 2 times speed as well. But basically, you're gonna take heavy fire during the opening rotation of the Sinister Six attack. So there's the Electro Ultimate, which offense downs everyone, but it's pretty much a non-issue. So there's the Swarm Special that puts a Disrupted on Falcon, but you do get the Rescue Barriers to kind of buy you some time. I recommend this ability block be used on Shocker, by the way, because if you ability block Shocker, no one gets any offense up. So that was an attempted ability block on Doc Ock, but yeah, you're not always going to land it, especially with the Deflect. I do recommend using that War Machine Special to clear any remaining deflects on Doc Ock. But basically, as soon as Falcon uses that special, there's 6 enemies on the board with so many buffs that you're definitely going to get a ton of speed. And then as you saw here, you can use the Ultimus special to get him a ton of regen, but that's it. Once the Falcon special goes off, you just activate the AoE wombo, so you get all the defense downs from Ironheart. And then you don't want to use the Ultimus ult here. Yep, you can just take out that Shocker if he's the one with the taunt on him, but you can just wait because Ultimus will get speed. So again, you're executing the Power Armor wombo. Now, if there was a T4 in that War Machine passive, everyone would be taunting. So it just happened to work out here that not everyone was taunting because there was no T4 in the War Machine passive. But more often than not, if you have the passive if you have the T4 in the War Machine passive, rather, Doc Ock will be taunting. And that is when you do what you're about to see here, which is you target Doc Ock and you unleash the Ultimus ult, which would have offense up if you were taunting, which he should be. And then, yeah, you just blow him away. And as soon as Doc Ock is off the field, combined with the fact that the wombo is already really, really effective at basically clearing most of the Sinister Six off the board anyway, it's a pretty easy cleanup. So it's actually, of all the parts of the fight that get dangerous, it's towards the end. Once you've completed the full wombo, this is where they start to make a little bit of a comeback, but your wombo should be so effective that you're able to kill several of the members and Doc Ock, so it's not too bad. And so yeah, as you can see here, it's just a matter of cleanup. I'm gonna guess that like 1 Power Armor character will drop. Yeah, so there goes Falcon there, but it's probably gonna work out fine. There's another taunt on Rhino, so there's additional speed for Ultimus there. But yeah, now it's just a matter of cleaning them up. But again, without Doc Ock, they're pretty powerless, so it is a very reliable win. And I'm happy to see Ultimus back in the war meta. By no means is this the only team that you can use to counter Doc Ock and Sinister Six, but since there are currently 3 teams that do really well into the Red Skull Hydra team, that being the Inhumans as well as the Baron Zemo non-minion Hydra team, and then you have Power Armor, you can afford to spare Power Armor for other attacks, and so using Power Armor, which these days is a bit of a lower priority Alliance War offense team, and then all you need to do is supplement them with Ultimus, and you are able to get a takedown on Doc Ock Sinister Six, it's just really, really good value. So this is easily my favorite counter for these guys. All right, so you can see here, this one is a 411k power armor plus Ultimus into a 484k Doc Ock Sinister Six, and it's with the security debuff, which is very dangerous. Now I want to clarify, if they have a strong Electro, you can see this one's only 65k, but if they have a strong Electro, do not use power armor with the security debuff. You're just asking for a bad time. So I don't recommend doing this in security debuffed rooms, but if the Electro isn't too big, you can get away with it and manage big punch ups like you're about to see. All right, so yeah, it's going to be a lot of the same. This one has Vulture, and so Vulture actually is a little bit more dangerous because he can manipulate the turn order. But so yeah, the Electro puts out some good damage, some offense downs. You can see War Machine dropped really low because of security, but the barrier is able to buy him some time. Again, I like the ability block on the Shocker because it means no one gets the offense up, but it also doesn't really matter because as soon as Falcon uses that special, you get to fully execute your combo, and that should be enough. So as long as no one's dead by this point, there's the Falcon special. Everyone gets 850 speed bar. So I went for the best value on that special. It didn't even remove any regen from Doc Ock, but yeah, you do want to be careful not to remove too many of Doc Ock's regens because it actually makes it easier for Ultimus to do more damage to him. There's all the defense downs, and you'll see here I opt to just take out the Shocker and wait until there is a taunt, because what you're waiting for is that opportunity to one-shot Doc Ock. That's what this is all about. So you can see he's still healing up, but just trying to drop him. So that Falcon special did a lot. That put the taunt on him, and that's the window that Ultimus needs. Now that he's low, Ultimus steps in and just chucks Doc Ock off the map, and now it's a matter of cleanup. Now, because this was such a big punch-up, and because Vulture had a big speed bar rewind in the chamber there, combined with the fact that this is a 111k Rhino that has so much health and 117k Vulture. Dispersing a Vulture isn't too bad, but this Rhino has so much health, so there's Rescue gone. So now it's a 3v1, and again, this is just because it was such an egregious punch-up that it's pretty tricky to have these guys take out Rhino. They are going to win, but Rhino doesn't make it quick or easy just because he has so much health. This isn't a fully maxed Rhino, but if I remember correctly off the top of my head, a fully maxed Rhino on a full Sinister Six team has something like 600,000 health or something like that, and he has incredible armor. And then this one's a fortifier as well. So yeah, he takes hits really well. So I'm trying to use the Falcon special as often as I can, but he's not going to get a lot of buffs. So even though we have the Ultimus ult back, I'd rather have the defense down. But yeah, there's just not a, it doesn't make a ton of sense to use that Falcon ult because he doesn't have any buffs. But this is just Rhino being a stubborn jerk. He can't win this, but he can drag it out. So it does take a little while to get rid of Rhino. But as you can see, you're able to execute the combo for this team pretty quickly. And yeah, I find that it's a very, very, very reliable counter. And as I'd mentioned earlier in the video, you're not giving up a high value team to pull this off. It's just Power Armor, who are one of the lower priority war teams that there are many substitutes for. And then you're subbing in Ultimus, who, if you clicked on this video, it's because you weren't aware that Ultimus had anywhere particularly important to be. So yeah, I just think this is a really good value counter. And as you can see there, was able to do like a 70k punch up in security. So it worked out really well. All right, so that's the counter. Again, my only real warning is I don't recommend attempting that in security debuffed rooms unless the Electro is really small. But even then, you saw if one additional attack had hit War Machine, everything would have gone off the rails. So just as has always been the rule with Power Armor, beware of security debuffed rooms. But otherwise, it is a very, very reliable counter to the Doc Ock Sinister Six. Regardless of which variation of the Doc Ock Sinister Six it is, they can take on every single variation of it. As for T4s, because I've had a lot of people ask, I do have a fully maxed out Ultimus, but that's just because I really like trophy characters, which is ultimately what he is. But you really only need 2 T4s. Now that's Power Armor has a good amount of T4s that are good value. So if you want to know what T4s we recommend for Power Armor in general, you can go on to discord.gg/Khasino and go to the Orange Essentials channel and look at the T4s. But for this matchup in particular, the only T4s that I strongly encourage that I wouldn't feel super comfortable attempting this matchup without are the War Machine passive. And it's just because you want to make Doc Ock have a taunt put on him when he drops below 50%, because you want Ultimus to get the speed so that he can take him out before he has a chance to regenerate or heal too much. And because if he's attacking a taunting enemy with his ult, he gets offense up, which is an extra 50% damage to every single attack on his ult, so it makes a huge difference. Then the Ultimus Ultimate, I recommend the T4 on that as well because it increases the damage on every single attack by a very significant amount. So again, having other T4s is definitely good value. All of Ultimus's T4s are a good value on their own, but the only ones I feel you need for this matchup are the War Machine passive and the Ultimus ult, and then I think you're good to go. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that. Welcome Ultimus back to the Alliance War meta. I'm sure he'll disappear before long and then show up randomly in another few patches, but yeah, for the time being, I hope this helps you guys out if you're running into pesky Doc Ox in Alliance War. If you enjoyed this video, chat, tell them what they should do. Thank you for checking out this video, and I will see you guys real soon. Till then. Peace.